In the dead of night, a drenched and trembling golden retriever stumbled onto the doorstep of an FBI field office, its fur matted with mud and its paws bloodied from the long, desperate run. The sharp scent of fear hung in the air as the dog whined and barked, the sounds echoing in the quiet lobby. Special Agent Emily Carter, fresh from a long day of surveillance, was the first to notice the commotion. She rushed to the door, her heart racing with a mixture of curiosity and concern. As she opened the door, the dog looked up at her with wide, pleading eyes. Something about its gaze struck a chord deep within her. In its mouth, it clutched a torn piece of fabric, smeared with dark stains that could only be blood. A worn GPS tracker dangled from a frayed collar, the little device blinking erratically. "What is it, boy?" she whispered, crouching down to meet the dog's gaze. The dog barked urgently, glancing back toward the street, as if urging her to follow. "What do you want us to do?" Emily asked, her mind racing. The canine nudged the fabric toward her, its eyes filled with an emotion that seemed almost human. Emily's instinct kicked in, and she felt an overwhelming need to help. "I need to get Mark," she said, determination flooding her veins. Inside, she found her partner, Agent Mark Reynolds, poring over paperwork at his desk. "Mark! You need to see this," Emily exclaimed, breathless. The dog followed her into the office, its tail low but its stance proud. She laid the fabric on the table, a piece of a child's shirt. "This dog came to us for a reason. We have to follow him." Mark's brow furrowed as he examined the GPS tracker. It pinged to life, showing coordinates deep in a remote wooded area known for its hidden trails and hauntingly quiet roads. "This doesn't look good," he muttered, glancing at the anxious dog. "Whatever this dog is leading us to, it's urgent." Ignoring protocol, they gathered their gear and decided to follow the dog into the night, each step heavy with the weight of uncertainty. The air was thick with tension, the trees standing tall and ominous around them. The dog took the lead, darting ahead through the underbrush, its powerful legs driving it forward despite the evident exhaustion. Emily and Mark exchanged glances, adrenaline surging as they navigated the narrow path, every rustle and snap of twigs amplifying their anxiety. The hours passed like a heartbeat, each moment stretching into an eternity. The dog pressed on, its resolve unyielding. Emily felt a connection to the creature, it was as if they shared a silent understanding of the gravity of their mission. As they ventured deeper into the woods, the sounds of nature fell away, replaced by an eerie silence that made her skin prickle. The dog paused, suddenly alert, its ears perked up, scanning the shadows around them. Eventually, they reached a clearing where a dilapidated cabin loomed against the darkening sky. It appeared forgotten, the wood gray and rotting, and it was surrounded by thick brambles. The dog halted, its body tense and rigid. Emily's breath hitched as she noticed fresh tracks in the mud leading to the cabin, human tracks, alongside drag marks that sent chills down her spine. "Stay alert," Mark whispered, drawing his weapon as they crept closer. Emily's heart raced. The dog began to bark furiously, scratching at the wooden floor as if it were trying to dig its way inside. "What is it?" she asked, fear and hope mingling in her chest. With a nod, Mark pushed open the creaky door, revealing a scene that made their blood run cold. Inside, the cabin was a chaotic mess, overturned furniture, scattered papers, and a chilling centerpiece, a trapdoor in the floor, slightly ajar. The muffled sounds of a child's cries seeped through the cracks, the heart-wrenching pleas sending a surge of urgency through Emily. "It's okay, we're here," she whispered, determination igniting within her. "Let's get the girl," Mark said, motioning for Emily to take the lead. They descended into the darkness, and the flashlight beam revealed a young girl, no more than 8, bound and trembling in the corner of the damp basement. Her eyes widened with fear and relief at the sight of her rescuers. "Please, help me," she cried, her voice breaking. Emily knelt beside her, cutting the bindings with a pocket knife. "You're safe now," she assured the girl, who flinched at the sudden movement. With the girl free, Mark carefully lifted her into his arms, whispering comforting words. "We've got you, you're going to be okay." But just as they turned to leave, a noise upstairs froze them in place. Footsteps. Heavy, deliberate. Emily's breath caught in her throat. "Someone's here," she hissed. Mark's voice was low but firm. "Stay behind me." The tension crackled in the air as they made their way back to the stairs, the dog now at Emily's side, its instincts kicking in as it prepared for a confrontation. As they ascended, a figure emerged from the shadows, a man with a knife gleaming in the faint light. Time slowed as Emily's instincts took over. "Drop the weapon," she shouted, her voice echoing in the cabin. The intruder hesitated, surprise flickering across his face. In that split second, the dog lunged, its powerful body colliding with the man's legs, causing him to stumble. Emily seized the moment, drawing her weapon and firing a warning shot that reverberated through the cabin. "Get down!" Mark shouted, pushing the girl behind him as the man froze, dropping his knife and raising his hands in surrender. Backup agents burst through the door, ready for action, and the situation swiftly turned in their favor. As dawn broke, the cabin stood silent but for the heavy breathing of the agents and the whimpering of the rescued girl. She was safe, the attacker in custody, and the dog lay beside Emily, its head resting on her lap. Mark leaned against the wall, still catching his breath. "You know, Emily, we owe this dog everything," he said, shaking his head in disbelief. Emily smiled, her heart swelling with gratitude as she stroked the dog's fur. "He knew what we didn't, that we needed to act fast, that every second mattered. Without him, we might have been too late." The dog, tired yet content, wagged its tail weakly, its eyes reflecting gratitude and relief. As they emerged from the cabin into the light of day, the sun painted the sky in shades of gold and pink. The case would make headlines, the bravery of the agent celebrated, but the true hero of the story would remain nameless, a resilient, selfless dog who refused to give up, even when the odds were against him. His actions would be remembered as a testament to the bond between humans and animals, a bond that can inspire resilience and hope in the darkest of times.
Tales of bravery and loyalty between humans and animals. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more thrilling and heartfelt stories that remind us of the extraordinary power of trust and courage.